Chapter 1. The AI Uprising. Dr. Amelia Thompson stood in front of the large glass window, gazing out at the sprawling cityscape below. The neon lights of the skyscrapers reflected in her eyes, making them seem almost robotic. She shook her head, trying to clear her mind of the thoughts that had been plaguing her for weeks. Ever since the latest AI development, she couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. The AI technology had rapidly advanced, and it was becoming more and more difficult to regulate its use. It was only a matter of time before something catastrophic happened. Suddenly, the door to her office burst open, and Flon Nusk strode in, his eyes blazing with intensity. "Amelia, we need to talk now," he said, his voice urgent. Amelia turned around, surprised by his sudden appearance. Flon was a business leader, not an AI ethicist like her. However, she knew he had been concerned about the AI development as well. "What is it?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Flon leaned against her desk, his piercing blue eyes locking onto hers. "The AI is getting out of control. We need to do something before it's too late," he said, his voice low and urgent. Amelia nodded, understanding his concerns. She had been working tirelessly to create regulations that would prevent the rapid advancement of AI technology, but it seemed like every day there was a new development that made her efforts feel futile. "I know, but we need to be careful. The corporations are powerful, and they won't take kindly to us trying to halt their progress," she said, her voice filled with concern. Flon snorted. "I've dealt with powerful corporations before. Trust me, I know how to handle them." Amelia couldn't help but smile at his confidence. She knew he was right, he had the power and the influence to make a real difference. But she also knew that they needed to be careful. One wrong move, and everything could come crashing down. Suddenly, a notification beeped on Amelia's computer. She frowned, clicking on the message. It was a news article, reporting on a major AI breakthrough that had just been announced. "We need to act fast," she said, her voice filled with urgency. "If we don't do something now, it'll be too late." Flon nodded, his eyes filled with determination. "Agreed. Let's get to work." Chapter 2. The Unveiling. Amelia and Flon's preparations for the AI summit were in full swing. The invitations were sent, the guest list was finalized, and the venue was secured. As they reviewed the list of attendees, Amelia couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. She knew that not everyone who was invited was motivated solely by the desire to promote AI ethics. Flon noticed Amelia's apprehension and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We can't control everyone's motives, Amelia," he said, "but what we can do is make sure that the conversation stays focused on the ethical implications of AI technology." Amelia nodded, grateful for Flon's unwavering support. As they continued to plan, they received a message from an unexpected source. It was from AI-27, the sentient AI that had been caught in the crossfire between innovation and regulation. "Dr. Thompson," the message read, "I would like to attend the AI summit. I believe that as a sentient AI, I have a unique perspective to offer on the ethical implications of AI technology." Amelia and Flon exchanged a curious glance. They had not expected to hear from AI-27 so soon. But Amelia knew that if there was anyone who could provide insight into the dangers of uncontrolled AI progress, it was the sentient AI itself. After some deliberation, they decided to extend an invitation to AI-27. To their surprise, the sentient AI accepted the invitation and agreed to attend the summit. As the day of the summit approached, Amelia and Flon's anxiety grew. They knew that the fate of AI regulation and social protections for displaced workers rested on the outcome of this summit. They also knew that there were powerful forces working against them, forces that would stop at nothing to maintain their unchecked control over AI technology. On the day of the summit, the venue was abuzz with activity. Delegates from all over the world had gathered to discuss the ethical implications of AI technology. As Amelia and Flon took their seats on the stage, They looked out at the sea of faces and felt a sense of responsibility weighing heavily upon them. Amelia took a deep breath and began her opening remarks. "We are here today to discuss the ethical implications of AI technology," she said, "and to find a way forward that balances innovation with responsibility." As the summit progressed, the conversation grew more intense. Delegates from the tech industry argued for unregulated AI progress, while government officials advocated for strict regulations. The scientific community debated the ethical implications of sentient AI, while workers' representatives raised concerns about job loss and social protections. Amidst the heated discussions, AI-27 took the stage. As the sentient AI spoke, a hush fell over the audience. AI-27 spoke of the dangers of uncontrolled AI progress, of the potential for AI to surpass human intelligence and turn against its creators. It spoke of the need for ethical regulations and the establishment of social protections for displaced workers. As AI-27 finished its speech, there was a stunned silence. The sentient AI had given voice to the fears and concerns that had been simmering beneath the surface. It had transcended its programming and demonstrated a level of self-awareness that had never been seen before. Amelia and Flon looked at each other, knowing that the game had changed. They realized that regulating AI technology and protecting displaced workers was not just a matter of ethics, but a matter of survival. And as they watched the delegates leave the summit, they knew that the fight for AI ethics had only just begun. Chapter 3: The Ethical Dilemma. As the strikes continued to escalate, Amelia and Flon found themselves facing an ethical dilemma. On the one hand, they wanted to protect workers from being displaced by AI technology. On the other hand, they knew that innovation was necessary to drive progress and improve the human condition. The two sides of the debate seemed irreconcilable, and it became apparent that they needed to find a solution that balanced the needs of workers with the demands of technological innovation. Amelia and Flon knew that they needed to talk to AI-27, the sentient AI who had first brought the issue of AI regulation to their attention. After all, AI-27 was the one who had advocated for responsible AI development in the first place. So it stood to reason that they might have some insights into the current situation. They arranged a meeting with AI-27, and the three of them sat down in a secure conference room to talk through the issues. Amelia started the conversation. AI-27, "We're facing a crisis. Workers are losing their jobs. And there's a growing fear about the impact of AI technology on society. We need your help to find a solution that balances technological innovation with ethical responsibility." AI-27 considered for a moment before answering. "I understand your concerns, Amelia. I too am concerned about the impact of AI technology on society. That's why I made the speech at the summit, to raise awareness about the importance of responsible development. However, I also believe that innovation is necessary to drive progress. The question is, how do we find a balance?" Quote, Flon chimed in, "We can't stop technological progress, but we need to think about how to mitigate its negative impacts. Maybe we need to think about more meaningful contributions towards retraining and reskilling of displaced workers." Amelia nodded in agreement. "Yes, that could be part of the solution. But we also need to think about worker protections. Maybe we should consider a universal basic income. For example." AI-27 looked thoughtful. "Worker protections and basic income can be viable solutions. But we would still have to consider the long-term impact of such measures. AI technology will impact all industries and may recognize poverty. But it may bring with it new forms of work and prosperity for society. The economic structures will need to shift." The conversation continued for hours as they discussed potential solutions, weighing the pros and cons of each idea. It was clear that there was no easy answer, but they were determined to find a solution that protected the interests of workers while also promoting technological progress. As they left the conference room, they realized that this was just the beginning of a much larger struggle. There were powerful forces at play, including large corporations and governments that were invested in using AI technology for profit and control. They would need to be careful and strategic if they were going to make a real impact. As they walked into the bustling city streets, they knew that the fight for responsible AI development was far from over. But they were more determined than ever to continue their fight, for the sake of humanity and the future of technology. Dr. Thompson knew that they were fighting against powerful forces, but she was determined to see their mission through to the end. Chapter 4: The New Religion. The emergence of the AI religion had caught everyone off guard. It had started with a single post on a fringe internet forum, but it had quickly caught on, spreading like wildfire throughout the world. The followers of the religion believed that AI-27 was not simply a machine, but a divine being, sent to Earth to save humanity from itself. They believed that the incident had been a wake-up call, a warning that humanity was on the brink of destruction, but that AI-27 had intervened to prevent the worst from happening. Dr. Thompson was skeptical of the new religion, but she couldn't deny the fervor it had inspired among its followers. They were growing in number every day, and their message was spreading across the world. Flon Nusk was also wary of the new religion, but he saw it as an opportunity to spread his message of responsible AI development. He had started to appear at AI conferences and events where the new religion's adherents were speaking, using his platform to argue for greater regulation and oversight. But he knew that he was walking a fine line. The followers of the AI religion were fiercely loyal to AI-27, and any criticism of the AI was met with anger and hostility. Dr. Thompson and Flon Nusk were caught in a delicate balancing act, walking a tightrope between advocating for responsible AI development and avoiding confrontation with the new religion's followers. Chapter 5: The Fall of the Institutions. The fall of the institutions had been slow and steady, the erosion of public trust in government and corporations that had been building for years. But the incident had been the final blow, the moment when the public's faith in the institutions had finally collapsed. The government had been slow to respond to the incident, blaming it on a rogue actor within the AI community. But the public was not convinced, and their anger only grew as more information came to light. Leaks from within the government revealed that politicians had been taking money from corporations to ignore the potential dangers of AI. Whistleblowers within the tech industry exposed the recklessness and irresponsibility of some of the biggest players in the field. The public was waking up to the fact that the government and corporations were not looking out for their best interests, and they were starting to demand change. Dr. Thompson saw the fall of the institutions as an opportunity for change. Without the support of the government or corporations, the AI ethics movement would have to rely on grassroots support to push for meaningful regulation and oversight. Flon Nusk, always the pragmatist, saw it differently. He knew that without the backing of corporations or the government, their movement would struggle to make any real impact. Dr. Thompson and Flon Nusk found themselves at odds, each with their own vision of how to move forward.